Alright, you guys pay attention to this. Rochester, New York, police released body cam videos to show why officers were required to handcuff, pepper spray 9-year-old girl. And it reads, Rochester, New York, police released 2 body cam videos Sunday that showed officers restraining a distraught 9-year-old girl who was handcuffed and sprayed with a chemical irritant when she disobeyed commands. The release of the video footage by the Rochester Police Department came after Mayor Lovely Warren expressed her concern for the child that was harmed during this incident that happened on Friday. I have a 10-year-old child, so she's a child. She's a baby, Warren said. This video as a mother is not anything you want to see. In the videos, the girl repeatedly and frantically screams for her father as officers try to restrain her after responding to a call over family trouble Friday afternoon. 9 officers and RPD supervisors responded to the call, police said. At the news conference Sunday, Deputy Police Chief Andre Anderson described the girl as suicidal. She indicated she wanted to kill herself and wanted to kill her mom, he said. In one of the videos, an officer asked the girl, "What's going on? How can I help?" When the officers tried to put the girl into the back of the patrol car, she pulled away and kicked at them. In a statement Saturday, police said the girl's actions required an officer to take her to the ground, and for the minor's safety and at the request of the custodial parent on scene, the child was handcuffed and put in the back of a police car as they waited for an ambulance. So you mean to tell me it's the parent's fault that the officer sprayed the child? Okay. An officer sprayed an irritant in the handcuffed girl's face when she disobeyed commands to put her feet in the car, police said Saturday. Police Chief Cynthia Harriet Sullivan described the irritant as pepper spray Sunday. As the girl struggled and cried, an officer said, "Just spray her at this point," and closed the door. The child was taken to Rochester General Hospital under the state's mental hygiene law and received the services and care that she needed, police said. After being treated, she was released to her family. I'm very concerned about how this young girl was handled by our police department, Warren said at Sunday's news conference. It is clear from the video we need to do more in support of our children and families. Harriet Sullivan said, "I'm not going to stand here and tell you that for a 9-year-old to have been pepper sprayed is okay. It's not. I don't see that as who we are as a department, and we're going to do the work we have to ensure that these kinds of things don't happen." Well, that's the same propaganda that they always use. I don't want this to reflect on our department. These actions were isolated. No, they are not isolated incidents. They are happening in every department throughout the United States. And the reason these things are happening is because the police don't know the scope of their authority. They think they're allowed to do whatever they want. You politicians allow this. You supervisors allow this. Internal investigations, qualified immunity, police unions, all these things are there to protect the police officer. And you guys, it seems to me like the police officer is actually the supervisor and judge and jury at the same time. These guys do whatever they want out there, and they ain't changing, folks. Something needs to give, and is it really going to be the people? Let's think about that for a second. Mike Mazzeo, president of the Rochester Police Locust Club, the union representing uniformed officers, the union representative, asked for patience. He didn't want to rush to a judgment before all the necessary information was made public. It does no good to blame one officer, he says. Well, Mike, who should we blame? The unions that protect him? If that's true, you'd be out of a job. He said the officer, who has not been identified, decided to subdue the distraught child and acted in a manner that didn't physically injure her. I'm not saying there are not better ways to do things, Mazzeo said during a news conference Sunday night, but let's be realistic about what we're facing. It's not TV. It's not Hollywood. We don't have a simple situation where we can put out our hands and have somebody be instantly handcuffed and comply. It's not a simple situation. The city launched a person in crisis team under its Office of Crisis Intervention Services late last year and took away certain responsibilities from RPD. It became operational last week but was not summoned for Friday's call, Warren said. The city began reassessing its response to mental health-related calls after the death of Daniel Prude in March 2020. The incident became public 5 months later and sparked massive protests calling for RPD to change how it responds to calls involving mental health distress.
This video, as a mother, is not anything that you want to see. It's not. We have to understand compassion, empathy. When you have a child that is suffering in this way and calling out for her dad. I saw my baby's face in her face.
I'm not going to stand here and tell you that for a 9-year-old to have to be pepper sprayed is okay. It's not. I don't see that as who we are as a department, and we're going to do the work we have to do to ensure that these kinds of things don't happen.
Credits to the article goes to Marsha Greenwood on Twitter. And my final thoughts. Do you guys really want to call police on your children? Do you really want to call an armed person to come and subdue your child? If your child is not listening to you and you can't get your child to do anything that you say, does it really take force to make them listen? Because that's what's going on. When you call police, they're going to come with brute force and make your child listen to them. And if you take what I took from this article, they're also going to blame you for calling the cops there. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good day.